You are finally putting the pieces together of your life and finally getting to make sense of everything that has happened thus far. I feel like you haven't really gotten a moment of reflection and you have learned so much, but it's been an overload. There's been too much where you almost feel like you haven't been able to integrate the lessons. So even though you've been through a lot, you don't feel like the sort of person who's been through the things you've been through, and you haven't had the chance to fully embody the type of person you should be at this point. I keep seeing that trend that's going around that's like, there's something that'll happen here, you should listen to it, or you'll get a pull or an urge to do this, you should do it, and then they show what happens because they followed that divine inspiration or nudge. This is happening because your intuition is being developed. I am seeing a third eye opening. I just keep hearing seeing with clarity. There's going to be a lot more clarity coming in for you, and it's almost like you're taking this string that's been woven into the fabric of your life, and you finally can like follow. It's almost like when you have your jewelry and it's super tangled and maybe it's in a knot, and finally you're able to piece it together and unloop it so that it becomes unknotted. So maybe there's something here about uncrossing or unbinding yourself, working through tangles, blocks, obstacles. I was also just getting the sense of the fates, like finally feeling like there is something fated about the things that has happened to you, and also feeling like you can follow that fate somewhere. There's something here about a huge journey, and it's like this clarity that's coming is going to set you on the path of this journey, because it's like the clarity, you know what you need to do next. It's like you can finally see with a bird's eye view. You can see how this all plays out, and you see what your role is supposed to be. And I am just, that idea of your role is very significant. There's something here about a new role that you need to step into, or a new character that you need to play. Ooh, especially to break whatever cycle or pattern that's been going on. Yeah, you have, I feel like you've lost everything. And you're going to figure out why you had to lose it all. You had to lose it all for some sort of reason, maybe to be a blank slate, a blank canvas, or maybe there was something you were supposed to learn at rock bottom. Yeah, lots of things coming up here about, I'm hearing that Friday song, so maybe Friday is significant, but where he's like, I was eating bread and jelly or something like that, his belly was empty, and I feel like you've been like starving for something, hungry for something for so long. And you're going to figure out what that hunger means, what that hunger was supposed to tell you about yourself, where it was supposed to lead you, and that it's also just the idea of being hungry for something. Like when you're so passionate and driven and focused on a goal, you get that feeling of hunger for it. And you're figuring out what your hunger is supposed to tell you. There were a lot of cards that dropped to the ground. The Magician. Yeah, you were supposed to have no resources so that you could figure out how to be resourceful, how you could make something happen with absolutely nothing. I'm thinking of Jesus with the bread and the loaves and the fish, where he fed the 5,000 and it was only like 2 loaves of bread or whatever, and he made it go further than it was meant to, and you had to know how to operate with absolutely no resources so that you could learn how to be resourceful, so that you could also learn how to be a little bit more creative and clever in your problem solving. That's the Magician. That's the thing about him, is sometimes we lose our sense of confidence, and I am seeing solar plexus here. So we have both solar plexus and third eye coming up. So colors yellow and purple could be significant at this time. Yellow and purple are in this card. That's so funny. So there's something here about you stepping into your confidence, and maybe it's through the resourcefulness that you've learned. You've seen how you can make something happen with nothing. And this is just a personal story, but it's making me think about when I was a teenager. My biggest dream was to be a makeup artist, and by the time I was 19, I was doing that professionally, and I was so proud of myself. But to become a makeup artist, I had to teach myself, because I grew up without a lot of money. So I had to learn how to do makeup with like the worst quality making, having one product and making it work for 5 different things. So then my confidence with makeup, now that I can have nicer products, I'm like, I could make something happen with anything. And there's something here about being able to make something happen with anything. And because you know this about yourself, you are stepping into a new level of confidence. And especially, if there has been a lack of financial resources, okay, it's like, in this next chapter, maybe you will have a little bit more, and it's like, what can I do with that? If I'm able to do something with almost nothing, and I am just seeing, like, maybe you're very thrifty, like I'm seeing someone who really likes going thrift shopping, or just, you know how to make things look good, even when you have nothing. So there is something very real about just confidence in your resourcefulness. We also have the High Priestess, Four of Wands, and the Sun. These are feeling super positive. Especially, we started off on a rougher note with that Five of Pentacles. So it really, it feels like the only way to go from here is up, and also it's kind of a rags to riches story because we have such a kind of negative feeling, and then on the other side of the Magician we have all these positive things. So it's almost like on the other side of you recognizing who you are, you recognizing your own magic, recognizing that you have everything that you need. There's no room for you to make any sort of excuses. On the other side of that is so much goodness, and it's kind of, you need to trust yourself, and there's some sort of opportunity here too with that Four of Wands, and you need to trust yourself and your intuition and your discernment. Maybe there's a part of you where you're scared to do well because you don't believe that good things can happen. You always think there's some sort of, hidden text, like read between the lines or read the fine print. And there's a part of you that doesn't fully believe in this, and that's kind of why you've doubted your magic, because part of you's like, I'm not sure I want to manifest this, or like have this spell, or whatever workings you've been doing. There's a part of you that doesn't want this to come through because you don't fully believe that good things can happen. And if your life has been kind of more this energy, then it makes sense that it would be hard for you to believe in this. But I'm hearing that you just need to trust your intuition and what your soul is telling you, because maybe it's your mind that doesn't believe in these sort of things, the mind that's very logical. Maybe you have a healthy amount of skepticism, but sometimes it can kind of teeter on the line of getting in the way or being a way that you block yourself. But you are being told to lean into the more letting your soul guide you. Obviously, the mind has a place, but maybe now is not the time because your soul has been telling you that something is made for you. There is something good. I keep hearing the sun will come out tomorrow, and that's, the juxtaposition of the energy of these two cards is so, like, literally going from the gloomiest, cloudiest day. Is it snowing in the Five of Pentacles? So kind of dreary weather, and then coming into the sun, and even in the Four of Wands, yeah, it's like that first day of spring when things are warm for the first time and the birds are chirping, and it's like maybe a little bit muddy, but people are out wearing shorts and things like that, even though they probably shouldn't be, just because they're so excited. There's kind of a warmth, and it's like warmth after being cold for so long. And yes, you just have to I'm thinking about how in the sun there's a baby here, and like the openness of a baby. They have nothing, they don't have skepticism, and they don't question goodness because they don't know any better. And so that's almost like when this goodness comes in for you, you shouldn't question it. It's there for you, and you see how open even the representation of the open arms. This is, I don't know if you know this, but your arms are connected to your heart chakra. So there's I always say the Four of Wands requires an open heart to receive this, because with an open heart, you have a certain level of spontaneity and adventure you don't have if you have a more closed off heart. And you can close off your heart through so many different ways. It doesn't just have to be heartbreak or a love thing. Anytime you have stuck energy or stuck emotions and feelings, or you clench and close around something, even potentially a good thing, you close your heart. So just relaxing and being open. And yeah, your intuition is guiding you. And that relates back to that third eye awakening and seeing things with greater clarity. I'm also just drawn to the fact that the High Priestess has that crescent moon in it. And I'm thinking about, we just went through the new moon in Scorpio, and soon there will be a crescent moon in the sky. And there's something about just seeing that first sliver after the dark moon where it's like, yes, things were in darkness for a very long time, but you're finally getting to see that little sliver or glimmer of hope. And that's this Four of Wands here really feels like hope. And I almost feel like with that Magician card, your hope is one of your most powerful resources. And that's what you're using. And that's that little bit of hope you're holding onto it, like in this picture how he's looking upward. And so even though things might seem dire right now, you're looking upward and you have this hope and your soul is telling you there's a reason to hold on to hope, that there's something good, something brighter on the other side. And I just want to tell you, if you're being told that, I don't care what your current circumstances look like, it's true. On the other side, there is something really, really overwhelmingly positive for you on the other side. And it's protected. Whatever this goodness is, it's not something that's going to perish or be gone quickly. It's like, especially with that kind of pessimism I was picking up on from you, this not believing in good things, or like good things can't happen for me, and too much of a good thing is a bad thing, that type of energy, or even just money comes and goes. Like as soon as it comes to you, you just feel like things fall through very quickly. That's not what's the case for you. Whatever this is that's coming in, it's already protected. And maybe that's why it's taken a long time to come in, because it was meant to come in with a level of stability and to have a firm foundation, but also protection around it. And that protection is what's taken the longest time. I'm even seeing, like, if someone's building a castle with really big walls, or the Great Wall of China, maybe China's significant, maybe you've been there, maybe you have traveled there, I don't know. Maybe you like Mulan, like me. I'm always talking about Mulan in these channels for some reason. But I'm seeing the Great Wall of China. Can you imagine how long it took to build that? But it's to protect whatever's inside. So like that idea of building a moat or having a really strong castle or some sort of fortification around this blessing so that it's built to last. And I am seeing Ten of Pentacles in my mind's eye. So maybe we'll get Ten of Pentacles out. I'm curious. Let's see if we can get any more cards. If this is the first time you've seen one of my videos, we're going to thank the YouTube algorithm for doing its magic. My name is Ava Alana. I'm a spiritual advisor and consultant. I help people, as one does, reach their highest potential through tools like tarot and astrology, and I specifically like to look at what blocks or obstacles you're facing in your day-to-day life reaching your goals and give very practical, grounded advice to help you through that. I do also regular tarot readings if you just have some sort of specific question you want answers on. I can easily look into your specific situation, which can be nice, a little bit nicer than sometimes these collective readings, more specific and tailored to you. So if that interests you, just check out the description box. It's stanstore/Ava Alana, and I would love to connect with you in that way. Anyways, let's get back into the reading. We did have one card come out. I feel like maybe we need a couple more, but maybe ooh, nope, there she goes. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. Yes. I feel like that's that part of almost feeling like you've given up hope, is because you've been hoping for so long that it's like, okay, but where has my hope gotten me? And it's like that Five of Pentacles again. It feels like your hope has gotten you to rock bottom. So you're like, maybe I need to switch up. Maybe I need to switch up or try something different. And there is, again, with that Four of Wands, being open to trying something different if it's not working out does show that you're not controlling, you're not so focused on the house, so you are doing the right thing. But I do get the sense that whatever you've been working on, or whatever this hope that you've had in the past, whatever you've kind of been tinkering on, it's about to pay off. Was I saying Seven of Pentacles? This is Eight of Pentacles. Anyways, I don't think now's the time to give up. It's kind of like if you're digging a tunnel and you've been digging the tunnel for a long, long time, you don't actually know when you're going to break through. And I feel like you're just about to break through. Especially, I think the tunnel is because I see him with the little hammer. I'm picturing you like, and it's dark and it's a little bit gloomy. And that's maybe you've been working down there for a long time. You've kind of ran out of your rations of food and you're like, okay, it's about time to go back. But I see even you going back would take you much longer than getting through whatever it is that you're meant to get through. 8 of Cups, yeah, oh my goodness, and 7 of Wands. You're wanting to give up. Oh, I can relate to that. There's been times in my life I have really felt like this. It feels like, okay, I've been fighting for so long. I've tried to protect myself, but I can't protect myself anymore. And maybe this is just the way life is. Maybe life is just really hard for people. And, it almost feels like with this, it's like, you're being so cruel to yourself in your head. And you're almost telling yourself that by giving up hope, you're protecting yourself. But that's not true. And I feel like I'm the one that needs to tell you, it's you trying to glamorize the fact that you're giving up. And at the end of the day, it is giving up. It's quitting before, like, you're quitting. And there are times when it is a good time to say, okay, this clearly isn't meant for me, but this is not one of those times. It genuinely, if you turned back now, it would be you almost forfeiting your destiny. Not to be dramatic, but there's something, and you can try and make it sound different than what it is, but the truth of the matter is you protecting yourself is just giving up. And there is a fear of success there. There's almost not wanting it to work out because maybe it relates back to the thinking if it works out, it'll be gone quick and I've worked so hard for it, so it really will just maybe make you angry, or maybe if you see a bit of success and now you believe in it more and you know what it feels like, and then if it got taken away it would hurt even more. So that's your like, I'm gonna it's almost like in a relationship when you want to break up with them before they can break up with you. That's kind of what you're doing with your dream or with your destiny. You're like, I'm gonna break up with you before you break up with me. That's really, I want to just say there was 7 of Pentacles at the back of the deck, so I wasn't crazy for that little slip. King of Swords. Yeah, you really think you need to protect yourself from something. And I feel like you think you need to protect yourself from yourself. And I think you're blaming yourself for everything that has gone wrong. And it's only because you don't see what's on the other side. Like, again, how there was that drastic shift from 5 of Pentacles on the other side of the Magician, all that positivity. You genuinely are, like, you haven't seen it yet. So you're looking at everything that's happened as something wrong or something that went wrong, instead of seeing it as experimentation that led you to the victory or the success. You're just seeing it as failure. And so you're putting all the weight and all the blame on yourself for perceived wrongs. And the thing is it's not even like the things that that have happened to you and are currently happening aren't necessarily bad things, but you're perceiving them that way, and you're almost perceiving it as like you've done yourself harm through the actions you've taken because they haven't led you to where you wanted to go, which it hasn't led you to where you wanted to go yet. It's not even that you're on the wrong path, you haven't gone quite far enough. And it's interesting because you're like, okay, but I've been going for a very long time, so what do you mean? There's like a bit of an attitude. So, yeah, the King of Swords, you're trying to protect yourself from yourself, but it's also, you're not giving enough credit to the fact that life is just kind of difficult sometimes. Like, you're putting a little bit too much of the pressure and weight on yourself and not taking into account the outside world or outer circumstances that might prevent you from getting there as quickly as you would like to get there. Especially, I mean, at this time, it's very hard in this world for a lot of people. A lot of people are struggling right now, and you do have to take into things like the economy and life, you know what I mean? There's so many things outside of you and outside of your control. You can do the best that you you can have your intentions, you can move forward and take inspired action, but if it's taking longer than you would like it to, one, don't give up hope, because there is the blessing. It's coming. But also, you just have to take into account that sometimes it might take a little bit longer given whatever the circumstances are in the world at large. Yeah. Okay, 10 of Cups. Yes. Emotional fulfillment. And that's, again, with that idea of it's taken so long because whatever's coming in is protected. It's also, a lot of people can manifest things, but if they're not manifesting things that are going to truly make their soul happy, and sometimes that, the hardship and the hitting rock bottom and the long adventure or journey is supposed to get you to a point where you figure out what you truly want, and then you can call in something that's aligned. And because a lot of the time people manifest things and then they get it and they're still unhappy, or they still feel lack of purpose within whatever they have. You can have a mansion, but if you have nobody to share it with, it doesn't mean anything. And that's, I think you're also realizing that whatever it is that you've been working towards, it's not just for you, it's also for, like, you want community and you want connection and you want to share whatever it is with other people. And maybe, I think you need to take a look at the people you've met along the way on this adventure and see, like, if you didn't go down that path and have the experimentation, you wouldn't have met the people that you've met so far. And I feel like you would be really sad if you didn't meet the people you've met, because it seems like you've met some really beautiful people who are going to be there to support you in whatever success or victory is coming in for you. Interesting. Kind of want to get a couple more cards. I was surprised by that. There we go. Queen of Wands and Three of Swords. Let me I'm really shocked. So you gave your power to someone else. And that's part of it. Like, you put a lot of blame on yourself. And it's like, I think, maybe other people have gotten it, like, people have been part of your obstacles, which is interesting because, you do desire connection. But there's a part of you that's like, I don't know, people kind of suck. And yeah, that people have been part of your obstacles as well. So me telling you, like, look at all the people you've met, part of you is like, yeah, look at all the people I've met. And some of them were not so great, but I want you to look at the lessons that you learned because of those people who hurt you in whatever way. Because I feel like in comparison with whoever these people are, you shine so bright. And that's like, you're so much bigger than them, and you have a lot more going on. You have a greater sense of purpose than whoever these people are. So it's like, almost you had to experience them so that you could experience yourself and the reality of who you are, because of the contrast of what they are not and what you are. And that's, I just am getting kind of, maybe people were pursuing similar things to you. You had a vision or a goal, and you met people who seemed like they had the same vision, values, intention, and then they turned out to be a fraud, or the things that they were saying that they were about and that they cared about and that they were, their mission, you realize that that was not really the case. It was kind of just selling a dream or something like that. And because of that, you got to see that you are the real deal in comparison with whoever these people are that you met. You had to meet them to gain this confidence in yourself, because yes, you're the real deal. You're the truth. And maybe that's, like, especially with you wanting to give up hope, maybe you've just been doubting yourself, because whatever this is going to require you to step into some sort of leadership role, and you have to be confident in your ability to achieve whatever this is. And that's why part of you wants to give up, because you don't know if you can handle this level of leadership that you're coming into. Yeah, there's this kind of wishy-washy energy going on with you. We have Five of Cups. It's like one moment you start to have hope and you start to get excited about things, and then the next moment you're beating yourself down and being so mean to yourself, like unnecessarily. And it's not nice because what you want has a lot of stability, but you have to figure out how to be that stability for yourself first and to provide that emotional safety, right? Ten of Cups really gives emotional safety. You need to figure out how to give that to yourself now. And because you're kind of giving yourself an emotional roller coaster, and that's whatever is coming in is going to be so big. You want to be in a really grounded state. So I mean, I'm not saying to not feel your feelings, but I've been picking up on pessimism for this collective in the past couple videos, so that needs to be, get rid of that. I cannot with that type of energy. So, and wishy-washy, you know, if there's something that you've been desiring, you need to be like gung-ho, fully committed to it, especially, you know what it is you want, so any type of wishy-washy or hemming and hawing, if there's something you want to do, make a plan and do it. You owe it to yourself. There's no, like, you getting yourself excited about something and then taking it away is just, if a friend was doing that, if a parent did that to a child, it's just like you're dangling a carrot before yourself, and that's, you just, especially with your relationship with yourself, you can't do that. The Emperor. Yeah, this is that King of Swords energy again, but in the Emperor. But also, the Emperor has determination, and I feel like this is you committing to whatever it is you're dreaming of. And it's funny because you've been working on this for so long, but I feel like you've kind of been doing it in a more timid or passive way. Like, yeah, I'm gonna try this, and maybe it'll work out. You need to be like, no, this is what I'm doing. This is my business plan. This is my strategy. And this is where it will be in a month. And this, even though maybe it won't work out exactly how you said, but it's just this confidence in yourself and your abilities. And you know, you kind of need to take away a backup plan, because the backup plan is kind of giving this back and forth, like tiptoeing towards your goals is not going to work for you. You need to charge ahead, full steam ahead. I do believe this is the end of Six of Wands was just wanting to come out. So charge ahead and you'll get your victory. Stop back and forth, back and forth. You know, you've been on this for a long time. You've tried to do other things, and those things haven't worked. You've tried to do the safe route. Those things haven't worked. So whatever it is you've been wanting to do, you need to just commit to it. And that's with the Emperor. There's a big sense of commitment. This is what I feel like I'm meant to do. I'm going to commit to it. If it works out, great. If not, great. I'll figure it out along the way. But so the video just cut off because I ran out of storage space, and I typically take that as a sign as it's time to wrap things up. So that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the full thing. Make sure if it resonated to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.